Hey, great teachers, greetings, dear teachers and classmates. If you can watch this video, I hope I hope in this time of pandemic you are very well. Hoping, likewise, hoping that everything's get better every day in this year. The my contribution for this time is to talk about video games, friends or foes. Okay, let's do it. It's very complicated to talk about this topic because I have searched in the web many resources that talks about this, but it's very hard to explain the situation because nowadays it's a we have different criteria about this, but I can try to do my best. Well. Um, this is an eternal debate between different criteria that talks about the video games can preju- uh, prejudice the mental health caused by dependency of it, or people develop something that goes against social welfare. Regarding these issues, psychoanalysts comments that they have spent years studying this implication of the problems of abuse of the use of these devices, which tends to have characteristics such as the violence and unhealthy contents for the people. The entertainment technology has made it easier for everyone to have a simple way, despite its cost. Sometimes of the video games that in a certain way damages the social development of the people. Definitely. And although it may not sound like a positive thing, it may actually we have plus points since youth avoid having friends with people that with bad generations, but um, we must questions that we must ask ourselves what happens with these video games and what consequences they have. I do think the main consequences that they have is the obsessions that it creates in the people since they feel independent of this type of technology that makes young people build social relationships in the different scenarios or different environments. Likewise, they replace the healthy education of their family, their environment, and so on, with examples based on violence. It's very hard to explain that. It's a variety. It's a reality of nowadays. It has been seen many times that violent content is an influence for negative behaviors in society. Many times we have seen videos games that invite us to create problems such as racism, gender violence, and above all, respect for other people in our home, in a society, in different scenarios that we have, for example, in schools or in university, in according to our relationships, many scenarios. Other consequences that we have are not sleeping well, not eating well, not doing any type of activity such as exercise, sport, and many others, or many others. Okay, and we have personally heard that those people who like this entertainment system, they consider it a way to get out of the stress of the deep or of the different obligations. But I don't agree with this criteria or this thinking, because they are always here. There are always healthier ways to get out of stress, such as sports or other groups that we have some kind of productive activities in order to develop the social skills or social relationships. I don't know. Many scenarios that we have in this society in order to get out of all these problems that the stress takes us to live in in moments that it creates violence or different situations in our home, in our scenarios that we are. I really think that I shouldn't say this because just because I personally I don't agree, I don't like it. But I must suggest that it's good when we have a healthy video games that develop intelligence. For example, it's a good example to say that you have if you want to play the video games that you can look for different video games that creates in your mind or in your brain different exercise that develop your intelligence. Definitely within this topic we have a lot to talk about. Definitely. But this should already be a responsibility of parents. They should have the missions of setting limits. And for this, we have an education in our home, which is a successful topic if our parents they are protagonists in our life. Well, that's my contribution, great teacher. This is very interesting topic, as I mentioned before or at the beginning, because we have different scenarios in our home. I have always seen many children that pass in the video games all the time, and that is a very problematic because they develop the different the scenarios in the mind and the parents should take care of what happened in our lives, especially we are uh, we are children and we are teenagers because our relationships in according to develop the different scenarios in a society is our missions, especially in when we are a teacher, because of um, we have many scenarios such as in biggest country than Ecuador that we live different massacres, for example, and the massacres comes to the video games because that video games creates violence. In that video games content have different scenarios such to kill different peoples. I don't know if you ever heard about Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto, it's a very violence. It creates those scenes, the violence with with the different genders, violence with the scenarios create a different groups that have a bad behaviors, and that is a very problematic. And the missions of our parents is to take care of in our homes different values that they consider that our sons must have in their home their limits in order to create our lives to participate in different topics that are related to the our mental well healthy. For that reason, I invite you always to think of that. Thank you very much, teacher. This is a great opportunity to talk about, and I would like to talk more about it because this video is part of my contribution. I don't I don't want you get boring with with my with my words. Thank you very much, teacher. See you.